Use the code CHICKEN in the shop.
Hey, Clash Quest update. It's a Clash Quest update, and I'm trying to sneak peek. I'm going to be looking at the runes. I'm going to be watching the chickens' YouTube.
That's right, guys. It is a Clash Quest update, and what we got for you lined up today, we're going to be taking a deep dive into each and every specific rune. We're going to go over how they work. And yeah, so I wanted to just talk about the runes today and get you guys all caught up to speed on what is going on. So first, we're going to start off. What is a rune? What are they? So runes are essentially, it's like a new piece of equipment that you can apply to your entire crew before you go into a battle. So I believe you get one rune to start off with. Maybe they'll add more in the future. But yeah, so to start off with, we get to pick one rune, and they're going to have specific bonuses for each troop. Now, the thing about runes is they are random when they go off, and I believe they can only go off one time per battle. So, yeah, runes can be imagined as a crew's superpower, strong and game-changing that swoops in to save your battle at opportune moments. They're a new type of item being added with the next update. They have powerful effects and can change the outcome of tight battles. Runes are meant to solve that hopelessness you might feel when you get stuck. So, specifically how they work is each crew has one slot for runes, like we said. Initially, the first 7 crew will have one rune, and the last 4 won't. And each rune has 4 upgrade levels, so you can actually make them stronger as you progress throughout the game. You discover runes at initially level 1, and each subsequent loot will increase the runes level by 1. Runes are activated differently, right? So they're kind of random, and they are random. Runes can randomly trigger on one of 3 moments: when attacking, when damaged by incoming attacks, and at the start of the turn per crew on board: Goblin, Barbarian, Wizard, or P.E.K.K.A. So yeah, let's go over the different types of runes. So starting off, we have the one right here, over there on the the camera's inverted. We have the one right here, the purple one. That is that's the archer's rune. So when attacking, each archer has a 5% chance to cast a piercing magic arrow in the same column, dealing 200, 400, 800, or 1600 damage, depending on the level of the rune, to all enemies in the column. So that's basically, like the magic archer from Clash Royale, right? It basically turns the archer into a super magic archer for a second, which is pretty cool. All right, so the next rune we have, I believe, is the orange one with the skull on its face right next to the purple arrow, is the giant rune. So when damaged, each giant has a 5% chance to cast Tremble, hitting all enemy tiles, dealing 150, or 225, or 350, or 600, depending on the level, damage to each enemy. That one seems really good. We're going to have to use these in the live game to really see which runes are the best and which ones are worth focusing on right out of the gates, but that seems pretty cool. All right, next up we have the Prince. So the Prince is it's the scary face on the bottom, right. I'm like pointing like this. It's the yellow face on the bottom. When damaged, each Prince has a 5% chance to block incoming damage and hit the attacker and all enemies in the same row, dealing about either 150, 300, 600, or 1200 damage to each enemy hit. To block incoming damage and hit the... Oh, okay, so it's basically like a parry. That's pretty cool. Depending on what depending on what is hitting you. I mean, that could be nice. Oh, sorry, it hits all enemies in the same row. To block incoming damage and hit the attacker and all enemies in the same row. Okay, interesting. Next up, we have the... this one actually looks the same as the barbarian one. So at the start of each turn, each barbarian has a 5% chance to cast Rage on every barbarian in his group. Ooh, I like that. Increasing each barbarian's base damage by 25, 50, 75, and 100 respectively, depending on the level. Moving on to the wizard rune, that is going to be the blue one in the bottom center. I don't know why on my sheet I have here the barbarian one and the giant one look the same. I guess depending on what troops do you actually have, maybe they can affect different troops. I'm not sure exactly. So for the wizard, we have at the start of the turn, each wizard has a 3% chance to cast 3 mini fireballs at random enemies, each fireball dealing 100, 200, 400, or 800 damage respectively. So that's pretty cool. It's basically like it's kind of like a magic wand, right? Where we get that free 3 shots. So that could definitely be useful. I mean, they're all useful. It's just, when are they? How often are they going to come up? And you know, how helpful is that going to be is what kind of remains to be seen. All right, so for goblins, at the start of the turn, each goblin has a 5% chance to throw a bomb to a random 3x3 area. That seems kind of wacky. I like it. Catching it on fire and dealing 50, 100, 200, or 300 damage immediately and each turn. That one seems pretty wild. I mean, I love the goblins throwing fire bombs. That's hilarious. But you see that all the percentage chances on all this stuff is very low. I hope that we don't go through battles and like we don't get a rune activated at all. That would be kind of frustrating if it's since it's such a low percentage chance. All right, so lastly we have the pink one on the bottom. Or no, sorry, this one is the same as the archer rune. I don't know if that's a mistake or not, but anyway, so for the P.E.K.K.A, we have at the start of each turn, each P.E.K.K.A has a 4% chance to cast Lightning Storm to all enemies, applying a 2-turn stun and dealing either 60, 90, 120, or 200 damage to all enemies. That is crazy. That's so much value there for essentially nothing, right? So that's really cool. I want you guys to let me know which rune out of the ones that we went over today, which one do you think is the best? And which one you're most excited for? I think for me, the last one we just read, the P.E.K.K.A one, that sounds unbelievably strong. So that one and the Goblin one I really like, but I want to hear what you guys think. So let me know down below in the comments. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap up the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative. Catch the next one, guys. Chicken out. Back.